Maybe I'm just a product of my environment. Growing up in the Rocky Mountain West, we were always taught to be self-sufficient, able to take care of ourselves without the help of anybody else. As a motorcyclist, that means we need to be able to transport our motorcycle on our own without the help of anybody else, which is part of why I've owned pickup trucks my entire life. And my pickup truck of choice, well, the Toyota Tacoma, of course.
Check out that 4x4. That is hot.
The same basic thing as the Toyota Hilux for our international viewers.
Someday, Jennifer. Someday.
Now, a pickup truck isn't a requirement. Vans are also an excellent choice, and the choice of most club racers. So is owning a trailer. But if space and resources are limited, nothing really beats the humble pickup truck. And no, you don't need a long bed so that you can close the tailgate. A short bed pickup truck works just fine. Now, I also want to do a shout out to biker Mickey. We were DMing online about transporting motorcycles, and it was basically her idea that we redid this video. So we are going to load a full-size motorcycle into the back of a mid-size pickup truck with a short bed without the help of another human being. But there are a few things that do make the task easier. This is a ready ramp, no affiliation. I've owned this one for coming up on 20 years now. This is this ramp's third pickup. It folds into thirds and does double duty as a bed extender. This is a simple step stool toolbox. I've had this one since I was 16. No tools inside, but a perfect place for extra straps. This isn't necessarily a requirement, but a wheel chock sure helps. Yes, a Bexley is a better product, but this Harbor Freight wheel chock for $70 gets the job done and costs a lot less. We're also gonna need the best tie-down straps known to man, no affiliation, but Pro Taper makes the best tie-down straps there is, and I know this is gonna be controversial, but please do not use, we strongly discourage the use of ratchet straps. There's no good way to release them. They release all at once. A lifetime of being around motorcycles, I will not use ratchet straps. Nor will I use just any cheap freaking ribbon strap from any gas station. We don't want a $20,000 motorcycle to fall on its side because we cheaped out on straps. No affiliation, but Canyon Chasers use Pro Taper straps exclusively. Now, to make our lives easier, we need to reduce the step-in height to the back of the truck. So put the rear wheels into the gutter, or roll the front wheels onto a curb. Find a hill. There is almost always some environmental feature that we can use to make it easier to step into the back of the vehicle. Here's the thing, with the truck level, the tailgate sits at 83 centimeters. With the rear wheels in a gutter, I can reduce my tailgate height to 55 centimeters. Lay out the ready ramp and strap it to the truck so it doesn't come out from under the bike. And place the step stool about one step away from the back of the truck. Place the wheel chock into the bed of the truck and prepare the straps. Let's go. Now, you know how I'm always going on and on about the importance of smooth inputs and the first and last 5%? Well, here we go again. We're going to use the engine to pull the bike up into the back of the truck. Don't look down at the bike or directly at the front wheel. Just like riding, we want to keep our eyes up, looking where we want the bike to end up. You can glance down at the ramp, but then bring your eyes back up to the wheel chock. And let the engine pull the bike into the back of the truck and into the chock. See, that wasn't so bad. If you don't have a wheel chock, you can put the bike on the side stand until you get it tied down, but a wheel chock just makes the whole experience that much more stress-free. We always want to make sure we transport the bike in neutral, never leave it in first gear. We don't want the bike rocking against the transmission, and we always want to have the side stand up. I've seen situations where people are trailered the bike on the side stand, it's broken the side stand, it's broken the frame mount for the side stand, and sometimes they'll even punch a hole or dent the bed of the pickup truck. When it comes to strapping the bike down, I always go for the lower triple clamp. It's by far the most secure place a bike can be tied down. These Pro Tapers do come with an integrated soft strap, and we just want to be careful that we clear any cables or brake lines or wires as we wrap that integrated soft strap around the lower triple clamp. If you just can't access the lower triple clamp, then you may need to attach directly to the handlebars, or sometimes you may need to use something like a Canyon Dancer, but honestly, it's pretty rare that I can't access the lower triple clamp. When it comes to tensioning the straps, most people put the bike under way too much pressure, practically bottoming out the forks, which can blow the fork seals and damage things, especially with ratchet straps. It's just way too easy to make things too tight with a ratchet strap. At most, we only want to use half to 2/3 of the available fork travel. We still want the suspension to be able to move so that it can damp some of the bigger road bumps as we're driving. To get tension, simply pull the bike to the side and snug the strap. Get the bike tied down as upright as you possibly can. We don't really want the bike leaning or one strap under more tension than the other strap. To prevent the cam locks from slipping loose, we tie a simple slip knot that wedges into the buckle, then we wrap up the excess strap. But shouldn't we strap down the back of the bike too? Well, you can, but my experience has been that if we drive mellow and take it easy, it's just not necessary. But if you do feel more comfortable with the back of the bike strapped, what we're trying to do is we need to compress the rear suspension. So whatever we tie down to needs to be able to compress the rear shock. The Ready Ramp doubles as a bed extender, and anything we place in the back of the truck, be mindful it's not going to slide and hit and damage the bike. A few things to be aware of. If we encounter wet conditions, the straps are likely to kind of slip a little bit and get loose, so pay attention to them. If you're strapping down the rear of the bike, rear straps will continually come loose and will need to be retightened constantly. Keep an eye on the bike as you drive. If it starts to list to one side or the other, or if a big bump causes the rear tire to hop to one side, stop and recenter the bike. Now to unload, again, find a spot to lower the back of the truck, get the ramp and stool in position. And now to release it, this is why I love cam straps. You simply pull the bike towards you to relieve some of the tension, and then you just push the button and slowly release the bike back up. Do the same thing on the other side, back and forth until the bike is free. Don't just hit the button and release one side all at once. For going back down the ramp, our first two fingers are going to cover the front brake, and we're gonna slowly walk the bike down using that 1% to 2% of brake pressure to control our speed. Avoid the temptation to look straight down. Looking down messes with our balance. Keep our eyes up and pay attention to the rear wheel to make sure it's tracking straight down the ramp. Slow and steady. And there you have it. You are a self-sufficient, independent motorcyclist capable of taking care of yourself. And this method works no matter how you're transporting your bike, be it a van, a trailer, or whatever. Just always remember your vehicle will handle differently with that extra 200 kilos or 400 pounds of weight, so drive super mellow when you're loaded. And if you like this video, please click on the things. Google calls that a satisfaction score. And yes, it does help me, but it'll also help Google feed your algorithm so you get content that's more valuable to you. Please consider joining as a channel member. You get lots of perks, including access to our Discord server. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Ride on and ride well.